Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Darts. This is episode 27. I'm your host, Matthew, and today we're going to be talking about some match play in quarterfinals. So we're going to have some fun talking about what's been going on with the match play and take a look at the 8 competitors in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals start today in a few hours, 11 o'clock my time, so in about 3 hours. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully you're having a little coffee. By the way, Coffee and Darts mugs, just got them in. They are available on the website. That would be on Atomic Darts. All right, but we do need to thank our sponsors. I am extremely proud to have a couple of great, wonderful sponsors. Of course, we have Magic Wear. That's this jersey. It's a Magic Wear jersey. Very, very comfortable. I actually spent 18 hours playing darts in a Magic Wear jersey, and it didn't rash. It didn't give me any issues. It felt really good. It had the right amount of movement, and I was very, very pleased with that jersey. So again, if you're looking for just a one-off jersey, something that you can just buy and wear, they've got them available at A to Z Darts or at Magic Wear. If you're looking for something for your league, check out Magic Wear. Or if you want a completely 100% custom for a great cost, I mean, I haven't seen anything as good a price, go check out magicwear.com. We also have some custom jerseys that are coming to our website. We're in the works on those right now. Also want a huge shout out to Shot Darts as they sponsor as well. And if you were here with us on Monday, you got to hear from Peter McCormick, the owner of Shot Darts, and hear about some of the history as they are turning 50 this year. And check that interview out. It is available on podcast and, of course, at YouTube. All right, let's dive into actually talking about a little bit about darts. But before we do that, I do want to go ahead and just share with you guys some of the upcoming stuff that we have going on. Coffee mugs, that's a great addition. Thank you, Will Stewart. Speaking of Will Stewart, Will is our next guest next Tuesday. So Monday, there will not be a show. I'm camping with my family, and we've decided to essentially only bring a dartboard, but no, I'll have my phone. We're going to film. We're going to film playing darts. Dylan and I are going to do that, but we're not going live. We will be available on Tuesday. So Will be joining us, and we're going to talk about, Will runs a online dart league, Quarantine Darts. I have a sticker of his. I'm not going to run around and get it. If you look behind me, if I can figure this out, right back up. Everything's reversed. There's a sticker from Will. Sorry. But Quarantine Darts. And so Will's going to be here talking about running a dart league. So get some come in Tuesday on questions about how to run an online dart league. Will be helping answer those questions. I want to give a shout out to Austin TV. Hey guys, you guys work with Jack over there, and from the darts referee, Jack with the darts referee, they work with them. So, hey guys, how's it going? Jack was on the show not too long ago. I'm doing pretty good, guys. Austin TV, I'm hanging in there. It's been a long week, but hanging in there, enjoying life. So that Will's coming up, and then we've got Jennifer Mounts coming back at the beginning of August. She will be joining us to talk about how to get sponsorship. So Jen has been a sponsored professional. So she's going to talk about how to go about doing that if you're interested in becoming sponsored. She also now runs Magic Wear. As a manufacturer, she can talk to sponsorship with that. We've got Terry Kush. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Terry. She is a professional darts player who is sponsored by Shot Darts, and she has a new barrel out. So she's going to be on the show, and we're going to be talking darts from a professional darts player perspective, and so get questions ready for her. And then we've got another gentleman that's coming on that is a darts blogger who blogs about darts and has an incredible amount of knowledge of the game itself. He teaches and helps players play darts, and he has a lot of tips for that, but he also has a lot of great information in regards to what's going on in the game. So those are some things that we have lined up, and we've got a number of other things in the works. Yes, you do work with the darts referee as one of his moderators, and it's fun. Austin, I think that's awesome, and you're working with Matt Edgar over there as well. So thanks for being on the show. Thanks for joining us. All right, guys, let's talk a little about match play. What have you guys thought so far? I'm curious. Drop it in the comments. I mean, I was a little blown away by the quick departure of Gerwin Price. Sorry, I need a drink of my coffee. So I was kind of surprised on that one. It's like there was no fire. I don't know if it was just because there was no crowd there. I think, Gerwin really feeds off that crowd noise, and I think he feeds a little off of the booze. And I don't remember hearing any of that in their crowd noise that they have pumped in to the arena. I think that would have helped if that had been going on. He just was flat. Just it wasn't the Gerwin Price we know that comes in and attacks, and you could see it. It was kind of the lion and the lamb situation. The lion had turned into a lamb. It just wasn't there. It was a little. I personally was a little disappointed. I really wanted to see he and Peter go head to head again after the Worlds. I thought it would have been kind of cool. And then speaking of Peter, spoiler alert, if you didn't see yesterday's matches, Peter just didn't pull it together now. And the first match that Peter had, it took him to the wire. I mean, he wasn't playing great. He was playing good. He was slipping when he shouldn't have been slipping. And that happened yesterday, but he was not able to come off of that. And so he lost. It was Glenn. Glenn Durant is not going to bow down. Glenn Durant is a 3-time world champion from the BDO, but you can't take anything away from him. He's come into the PDC and done very, very well in his 2 years here at the PDC. Definitely gone very deep in major tournaments and in other tournaments as well. So you can't take anything. You can't slip up in that case. So Peter did, and Peter paid, and Peter's gone home. So Peter picked a pack of pipers and lost. I don't know. But Glenn looks solid. He did slip up there at first. I mean, Peter looked like he was going to roll it. It looked really good. But then Glenn, remember, he's a 3-time world champion. He's played a lot of darts. He's been on big stages. And he just mechanically got his game back and was killing it. It was fun to watch that match. That was a great match. And then we had the Vandervoot, Daryl Gurney. I like Daryl. I used to be a huge Daryl Gurney fan, and then there were some things that happened off darts that kind of soured me for him. But I still like him. And Vincent Vandervoot, just, it's like, who the hell was that guy? Again, this is a guy who I'm not a huge fan. I don't dislike him. I'm not a huge fan of his. He always looks like he's pissed off. I bet when you sit down with him, he's just like, hey, what's up? And pretty cool. But he looks like there's a chip on his shoulder. I think him being in league with MVG from a manufacturer perspective, and their relationship, he's got a chip on his shoulder. It's kind of like, if you guys remember the Bulls, the 90s Bulls, Horace Grant, and he had a huge chip on his shoulder about Michael Jordan because Horace Grant thought he was better when he wasn't. I kind of look at it from that perspective. But Vandervoot just crushed it. He was pissed. And I think you need that. I think you need to come in with some anger, like, hey, this is mine. You're at my hockey trying to take away my trophy, my match, my game. And I don't even think Daryl Gurney showed up. Was he there? There was a guy there, but I don't think it was Daryl Gurney. It was just some guy that was like, hey, I want to go home. And he did. He went home. And Vincent, that's going to be he's either going to come out super hot and crush again and just be really good, or he's going to be super flat. He may have used up everything he had to get past Gurney, because he was, I don't know. Did you guys see it? What do you think? I mean, he came out pissed. It was kind of interesting. Good morning, Larry. Thank you about the shirt. This is a Magic Wear. It's one of the new designs that Magic Wear has. Here, I'll give you guys kind of a little look here. Back look. So it's a good looking. It's got the inside pocket. I really like these shirts. So nice to see you, Larry. And Austin TV says, hey, I think it's open to anyone now, but I think Duza or Adrian Lewis can win it. Nobody's going for Gary Anderson, huh? Nobody's going for Gary Anderson. Let's see. It's been 6 years since a non-world champion has won, and that would take us back to the machine himself. When he won it, I think he was 14. He won it, and that was the last non-world champion to win the World Matchplay. So right now we've got 2 former PDC world champions and then a 3-time BDO world champion still in the mix. So we have Gary Anderson, who looks good. He looks methodically good. He looks like he's prepping for another world championship. Honestly, he looks solid. Adrian Lewis looks good. He's lost a little weight. Danny Norpet took a piece of him yesterday, but it looked good. And then we got Glenn Durant, and Glenn just looked. I mean, he took out the world champion. I mean, you can't take anything away from him. Guy did really well. And so we got Whitlock coming out. Let's see who's playing today. We got Krzysztof Towski versus Michael Smith. And you know what, guys? Krzysztof Towski, the Polish Eagle, playing some solid darts. He's been playing solid darts for 2 years now. Seriously solid darts. He's really done well. He's holding his own. This stage and the crowd don't seem to affect him like it does a number of players as they get to this level. Krzysztof Towski is a top 10 player. He may not officially be there yet. I think after this tournament, he will be. I believe so. I think I'm not sure exactly where he's at, but he's close to the top 10. And I think based on monies, he will be there after this tournament. But he is certainly a top 10 player. He's a contender every time he comes to play. And he's got Michael Smith, and Smith's playing good. Smith got to the finals last year and bobbled that. Michael's kind of on this, the last year and a half he's on this. He shows up and he plays well, or he's just not there. It's almost he needs that extra gear, and it seems to be coming. If you've watched his matches so far in the match play, he'll flounder a little. He'll kind of sit down and like almost take a break and then push through. And really, that's what happened to him last year. He should have won the match play last year, but he stumbled and he didn't know how to get that gear back. He didn't know how to push through. And this year, he's showing that he can do that. But Towski is just on a mission when he gets to the Aki. I think there's a fire inside him that he's not really showing us. And I think that's driving him, which is what you need. So that's the first match today. I believe it's definitely a match for today as Krzysztof Towski and Michael Smith. Let me know in the comments, who do you think wins out of that one? I'm going with Krzysztof Towski. I think Krzysztof Towski makes the finals this year. I think he makes the finals this year. But who do you think out of the Polish Eagle and Michael Smith, the bully boy himself, is the bull or the eagle going to take it today? Let me know in your comments. And then we've got Simon Whitlock against Gary Anderson. These are two competitors that know each other very well. Simon looked really solid against MVG. He played really, really well. It was like he euthanized and became, well, that's a really bad way to, because that means, well, he euthanized MVG. There we go. He became more that youthful wizard that we know. You know, it wasn't the old Gandalf that's ready to give in and call it a day. It was that younger version of the wizard was playing superbly, hitting the board just wherever he wanted to at will. It was fun to watch that. It really was. He's got a nice beard. I'm trying to get there, Simon. I'm working on it, man. I don't know that I'll go that far, but I'm working on it. But I like Whitlock. I think he's a fun guy. He's got a hitch in his step, you know, but I like him. But then Gary Anderson. This is my call out for the guy that wins it all. I think the Flying Scotsman I think he gets it done. I think he wins this tournament. So I'm wondering, because he and Krzysztof Towski would not play against each other in the semis. So I think he goes to, I think that's our final is Rutowski and Gary Anderson. I think Gary pulls it off. I'm right here. You guys got it. Gary Anderson wins this thing. All right. So we got a couple comments coming in. Everybody thinks Rutowski, the Polish Eagle, is going to win that one. Whitlock, Gary Anderson. Where do you guys go with that one? I personally think that Gary Anderson's going to take this. Larry, you're angry. What are we angry about, Larry? Larry, let me know in the comments. Where are we angry, man? It's showing up here in the little facial thing up here. It says Larry Winker. It's angry. Are you angry that Peter Snakebite is out? I am too. I thought World Championship and then World Match Play would just make 2020 for him. So we got Whitlock. We got a couple guys going for Whitlock here. Hey, Scottish Lad, thanks for joining us. Will Stewart is he's taken Whitlock. He thinks he's on a mission this time. I think so too. I think he's had a couple years of just mediocre darts. You know, definitely not top 10 caliber. I think he's on a mission to get back to where he was. I think he does well. It's Gary Anderson. But Gary's been hurt. You know, he's had the back problems, but he looks really good. He looks good. Can Gary exploit the fact that Whitlock hasn't been playing well? Can Gary put enough pressure on Whitlock for him to get in his own head to lose? That's the big question. We know that Gary can play under pressure himself, but here's where I think Gary has faltered the last couple of years, and here's where I think like MVG is getting into that situation where he's going to fall. I don't think MVG is going to be number one in a year. I don't think MVG is going to. It's going to be 2-3 years before we see him win. And I think he'll regain the number one spot. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of think for him, here's where I'm going with this. Okay. And this is what I saw with Gary Anderson, the family situation, the kid situation. So MVG's kid, his daughter, I'm totally blanking here, is at that age where they know what's happening. Go back 2 years ago when he first had his daughter, and I think his wife might be pregnant again. I think I read that somewhere. But go back there. She was little. Like when they came to Las Vegas, they were out at the pool, and his daughter was just in a little floaty. She didn't know that daddy was playing darts. She knows now that daddy's playing darts. Go to Gary Anderson. His son's a little bit older. His son knew, hey, dad's playing darts. this last couple of years, and that weighs on a heart. Any dads out there, you guys, you know how that feels on your heart, like when you're gone and you're gone for a length of time. So there is an area of a couple of years where you fight, you have this internal fight with what you want to do that you love doing and your kids. And I can speak from experience here, because if you've known my channel at all, it's been around for a couple of years, and it just flandered around for the first couple of years. And that's because of my kids. I have a 6.5-year-old and I have a 4.5-year-old. They were in that age where they were starting to understand that, hey, dad's doing something. I want to be a part of it. I want to interrupt. I want to pull him away. And that's where MVG's kids are at. Are you guys following along here? So his heart isn't as much into crushing someone, but it's coming. It's coming back, but it's going to be a few years. He's going to have to gain that desire again. Again, I'll take this back to the MVG, to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan and the Bulls. I don't know. I was it's funny. I was a huge Suns fan in the 90s, but I had a friend that was a massive Bulls fan. And so we followed the Bulls. It was Michael Jordan. Everybody followed Michael Jordan. But he took that hiatus to play baseball for a little while, and then he came back. Anybody remember that? Well, that's kind of what I see happening here. So just that was me on a little rant there, but I think Gary Anderson takes it from Whitlock. That's me on the record with that one. And then on Friday, we've got Adrian Lewis against the dancing Dimitri Vandenberg. And we got Glenn Durant against Vincent van der Voort. I think out of that first one, Adrian Lewis takes that. Adrian Lewis will just methodically roll over to that one. So I've got Adrian certainly taking that. And then Glenn Durant over Vincent. If Vincent van der Voort shows up, the guy that was there yesterday, that angry man that was like, I am going to take everything from you, and Glenn gets started like he did against Snakebite, Glenn loses. If Glenn can come out on fire, if Glenn can smell blood in this tournament and say, you know what, I got a chance to take this tournament. This is my tournament, which to some degree it is at this point. I just took out the world champion. I can snag this away from everybody else. And he comes out on fire. He beats van der Voort. And makes it to semis. Then we'll talk about that later. We'll have to see how people play in the quarterfinals. I think for some people, being in the quarterfinals is like a dream come true at this point. But we'll see. I saw a comment in here about Danny Baggish. So who do you think USA's next biggest dart star is? That came from Austie TV. So Austie, thanks for that question. And so Scottish Lad threw out Danny Baggish. Baggish is good. Baggish is definitely a good darts player. I'm a USA player, okay? So I live here in the USA. Here's my take on this. I don't think we know. I don't think there's anybody that's trying to address being the man for us in the US. We have some good darts players that are happy being good darts players. And what do I mean by that? When it comes to the world stage, when it comes to tournaments where we have invites to come play from a PDC standpoint, the world stage, to play against the best, we kind of show up with a little bit of a swagger, but it's the wrong type of swagger. American players show up thinking, oh, we're the American players. There's two mentalities that come in there. One, it's we should just win it because we're from America, which goes back for history where that was kind of the mentality because we were awesome. We were, not in darts, but in other sports. Or there's this mentality that comes in and says, ooh, crap, I'm playing the world's best and I'm not there. We don't have anybody in this country currently that's at that, okay, that's old enough. That's the key to really be that player. But it's coming. Darts has gotten to a big enough audience and it's becoming something here in America. We're seeing the sport grow outside the bars, which has kind of been where it's been since the 70s for us. In the last 4 or 5 years, we've really seen this growth outside of the bars. We're seeing younger players. There are some younger players that have a fire and a desire, and they look at MVG and they go, I can beat him. We've got that coming. We currently don't have it. We don't have the players that say, not only can I play in the PDC, I can take this like crazy. Hey, dude, what's up? Good morning. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Didn't say that I could like Pokemon Go the first.
I will bring in Pokemon Go in a few minutes. You need to finish waking up, okay? All right, can I get a high five? Let's say hi to everybody. You're live.
Hi.
All right, love you, buddy. Go finish waking up and I'll bring it in, okay?
Okay.
Sometimes Pokemon, you just got to catch them all. He wants to play Pokemon Go. But that's my take on American players. We don't have anybody. We need like 10 guys that just have this attitude of I'm going to do what it takes to be good. And really what it stems from is it comes down to we need some people that are committed and have financial commitments to play. Not, hey, I'm going to do this, do that. I mean, I look at Jeff Smith, the silencer from Canada, who I love. He's an awesome guy. He had a business. I mean, it was an auto shop, which unfortunately burnt down this past year, if you guys didn't know that. So the year he gets his tour card is the year that it was the best and worst for him. But he had spent the time playing the darts, honing that craft. And there's a natural ability to hand-eye coordination. That's a big part of this. Honing the craft of being a dartsman and running his business. And he had the right people around him to allow him to get to where he is. And I think he will reach the top 20. I think he'll reach the top 15, my opinion, in the next 3 years, if he can find, again, the ability to really put into it. I think Jeff Smith's a great dartsman. He's held his own against MVG. He's a great darts player. So just putting that out there. But that's what an American needs to find. We need some Americans that have such a passion, have the hand-eye coordination, the video games, which we got a lot of that, that has a desire. And the money's got to be there. That's the driving force, and it's coming. So there you go. Is Danny Baggish right now the best? He's probably up there, but I think we've got 3 or 4 guys that are probably all on par with each other. They're getting old, though. That's key. So Scottish Lad put in a question here, and this is a question I have asked. Real quick before we jump into that. Austin TV had, he had Baggish, Gates, Young, Butler. These again are all the guys that I'm talking about that are like on that same kind of playing level. I think Young might have an edge on everybody else, but it comes down to that crushing desire. And of course, I'm going to have 1 or 2 of these guys on at some point, and they're going to see this video, and they're probably going to rip me a new one. And I hope, that's what I hope. Man, I hope these guys would come on a show like this and be like, dude, you don't know anything you're talking about. I'm going to kill you. I'm coming through that camera. I'm going to kill you. And I'm going to kill anybody else who gets in my way. That's what I'm looking for. You got to have that ability. You got to be willing to put your mom down. Sorry, to win it. And when you've got that in your heart, you're going to win. But let's get back. Yes, still not himself. Totally agree with you. Let's get back to this question because this is always an interesting question. We got Corey Cadby. Yeah, Cadby. Corey's looking to come back. He's looking to get his tour card back. I don't know why he released it. That was a dumb move, but he was making a lot of dumb moves. So Corey's making a move to come back, looking to get his tour card. I'm excited to see that. The one interview I've seen of his, he seemed to be healthy. He seemed to be pushing forward. He seemed to have a desire for darts again. I think his management team held on and worked through his issues with him, which there were a lot of issues that he brought up in that interview that I don't think a lot of people knew about. A lot of internal issues here, a lot of internal issues up here. And he's worked through those. So I'm excited to see him come back. I think he's a young kid that could certainly do something. He's got to understand that losses mean wins down the road. You just have to learn from them. That's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. So getting back to World Match Play. So we got Simon Whitlock, Gary Anderson again today. I think Gary Anderson takes it, hence the hat. Still a big Whitlock fan, but we'll see. That's why they got to play the game, right? So then we have Adrian Lewis and the Dancing Dimitri. Dancing Dimitri looked good, but that wasn't like it was a fun match to watch. I kind of felt like Dimitri. I was looking for a little bit more spark out of him, I guess. A little bit more dance moves during the match would have made me happy. I just don't think up against Adrian Lewis that he pulls that off. I think Jackpot. He worked in the off season or the downtime, whatever you want to call it. I think Adrian's looking to rejuvenate himself and bring himself back. I think he's looking at the mix of players out there, and I think he's got it in his head. He's like, wait a second, I can beat all these guys. I'm good enough to be back in that top echelon of players. And I think he's going to drive for that. I think this year's a good year for him. The remainder of this year, I think he's going to be a tough, truly tough opponent when it comes to the end of the year tournament, which I totally blanked on. I hate when that happens, when it's like there, but it can't come out here. Just horrible. Especially since I'm doing this live. And then Glenn Durant, Vincent Vandervoort. I mean, again, we've talked a little bit about this, but who do you guys think takes that? Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. That's right. Hey, Austin TV, thank you. I saw this comment. That's right. Yes, Daphne had baby number 2 a few months ago. That's what it was. I was trying to remember because it's like MVG and the kid thing, and I'm going back. Yes, I'm sucking back into a past conversation. So these are the things that I think affect MVG right now going forward for the next couple of years. And Grand Prix, yes, there we go. That's a tournament that it's like off today. I don't know. Dylan came out here and it kind of offset me because it's the dad pool. I'm like, hey, what's up, buddy? Normally, when he first wakes up, we kind of hang out for a little bit and talk about the day and what he's going to be doing. And we'll try and get a game of darts in, or he'll do Pokemon Go and he'll explain every freaking Pokemon to me. It's awesome. So, but we got 10 minutes left of the show. Again, who do you guys think? Okay, so just throwing it out there. Adrian Lewis, Dimitri. Who do you think wins that one? Glenn Durant, Vincent Vandervoort. Who do you think wins that one? Who do you think takes the tournament out of the 8 players we have left. I think Christoph is my outside shot to win the whole thing. I'm going with Gary Anderson. That's just me. That's my pick. Any comments about Snakebite and his loss yesterday? Would you guys? I mean, did anybody see that coming? I mean, you watched the first section of that match before the break. He looked solid. He looked really good. Did anybody notice he changed darts though? After the second break, he changed darts. Same barrel, but different shaft. He went from that green fluorescent shaft to a black shaft. I'm wondering, because he wasn't wearing his glasses, wasn't wearing the glasses yesterday. Was the green shaft affecting the fuzzy image that he normally has? And the black just helped. Did anybody else catch that? Anybody else see that? As you can tell behind me, who I'm rooting for. I forgot I had that picture up. That's who I'm rooting for. There's something about Gary Anderson, the Flying Scotsman, something I really like about his personality. He's kind of the last of the old guard, so to speak. And yet he's still kind of young enough to be mixing it up. I just think he retires in about 2 years. And so I'd like to really see him do well over the next couple of years. That's my hope. Yes, and the darts and the other darts had shorter points. True, I did notice that as well, but it was the shafts that really caught my eye. Will thinks he tried to change it up too much again. I think it was. I think he should have came back out with the glasses. I think he should have kept with that. He really was doing well. I know that he pulled him off there, and was able to win the one match. That was heart and feel. That was him saying, "I'm gonna win it," which he needed that yesterday. I think he should have came in with the glasses. I understand the change up because of the shaft colors. The green ones were probably he used them because he thought they'd be more visible without the glasses. I mean, I get the mindset. And then he went to, excuse me, went to the black shafts just because I think the green was in a blurry vision, because I used to play without glasses. It took me a while to succumb to the fact that I needed glasses. It took me about 2 years. Things were getting very blurry for me at distances. And I just fought it. So once I got my glasses, it took a little while to adjust, and then I had to find the right prescription to where I felt like I could really see I got my prescription glasses based on 8 feet. This set I got based on the idea of looking at a dartboard. Straight up. I need to go back and get another set that gives me a little bit more, but it was all about the dartboard. So anyway, I think that Peter he lost. He's out. Glenn played better. Glenn was not playing better at first. So thanks, Will, for the comment. All right, so Scottish Lad threw this question out, and I always find this to be an interesting question because everybody asks this. So Peter just did an interview where they went through the rendition of barrels that have been made for him. He's been using this barrel for close to a year now, as far as the majority of the grip. He will change mid-tournament, mid-match to an older set. We saw that in the Worlds, or in the World Championship. He went back to the black, I can't think of the name of it, but the black bite or whatever it was. So we've seen him do that, but as far as this particular barrel, there was a tweak done to this barrel for the Worlds, and it had to do with the larger ring. But for the most part, it's been this type of barrel for about a year now with small tweaks. Do I think he changes barrels? I don't think so. I think what he's tweaking now is shaft and flight more than anything, and length. So he'll shorten the point to your point, Scottish Cloud. He'll shorten the point. He'll use a different shaft, and he's really liking the molded flights. And I think he sticks with that. I think part of it is coloration for him, and it's because he's not wearing his glasses. So there's my take. All right, Joe O'Neill, predictions for all 4 matches tonight. Let's hear them. I've got Krzysztof Towski beating Michael Smith. Well, there's 2 matches tonight and 2 tomorrow. I've got Gary Anderson taking Simon Whitlock. I've got Adrian Lewis taking the Dancing Dimitri. And then I've got Glenn Durant against Vincent van der Voort. I think Vincent loses all that desire to crush and win. I think he comes up against Glenn, and Glenn scares me. I mean, as a darts player, he's probably a sweet, nice guy to hang out and have a hot toddy with. But when he gets going, Glenn is a great player. He doesn't win the tournament, but he'll beat Vincent van der Voort. So there's my predictions. Just want to point out, if you guys watched the show with me and Jack from Darts Referee, I called all. Get it again. Go back and watch it. I called all of the wins for the first round. Called them all. Even the upsets. I called them. Well, there was only one upset, but I called all of those. I felt really good about that. I kind of wanted to post it, but I'll just throw it out here as we end the show about that. Hey, guys, as we are, what are the best? Sorry, question came in. Got to answer this one. Not much play related, but what are the best SB points to buy? That really depends. It's all about feel at that point. And that's my opinion. I'm going to leave it at that. All right. So Joe says Smith will win. And you think Anderson's going to win overall? I think Krzysztof Towski takes Smith. So Joe, we'll know. We'll know in a few hours which one of us can stand tall and say we called it on Coffee and Darts episode 27. Hey, guys, as we kind of wrap this up, don't forget, next week on Tuesday, Will Stewart, who's been hanging with us today, will be joining me to talk about running a league and online tournaments. And then we've got Dax, who is a blogger. He's coming up, and he's going to be talking about darts as a whole. So he blogs professionally about darts. So he does news type stuff about darts, and he has a whole setup of training tips and tricks. And so we're going to be talking about all of that with him in a couple of weeks. We got Jennifer Mounts coming back. She is actually going to be a permanent person on the show at the first Monday of the month. So those Jennifer Mounts fans who want to see her back on camera, answering questions and having a good time talking darts, you're going to get at least 12 times a year to hang out with her and talk darts, and that's going to be the first Monday of the month. She and I have kind of worked that out. She's coming on this next one. We're going to spend some time talking about sponsorship and where we need to go with that. And the show may extend. It may be more than an hour. So come hang out. Jen and I seem to get along really well, and we like to talk about all this fun stuff. Then we've got Terry Kush, who is a shot darts player. She's confirmed to be on the show. That may happen in the next 2 weeks. We're working out the perfect time slot for her. It may be similar to the situation with Peter from this past Monday, where I had to do it at a different time slot just based on it was Tuesday for him. So, there's a little time difference. I don't know. It's kind of weird, that time thing. But those are upcoming things. Again, you can get your Coffee and Darts mug at atomicdarts.com. We also got cool hats. We got some shirts there. We've got some other cool products coming as well. And for those that are watching right now, I saw a couple of people drop off. Don't drop off just yet. I am working out my own barrel with shot darts right now. We're finishing the design element, but there are going to be a limited number of barrels available when they first come out. So keep an eye out for that. But that's a few months away because it takes a little time to make them and get them here. We're probably a month and a half or so out. But it's going to be a steel tip 21 gram barrel. And I think you guys are going to love it. Hey guys, thanks so much for hanging in today. I will catch you guys on Tuesday with Will. So again, there is no show this Monday because I'm camping with the family. No show. There may be a Dylan Darts, live with Dylan Darts. I don't remember what we called it. We haven't played in a couple weeks. But I think Dylan and I are going to try and slip a little live show in on the weekend. We're going to bring the grand board and the grand strap. If you didn't see that review from yesterday, we're going to slap that sucker on a tree, and I think we're going to play some darts in the woods. So look for that this weekend. Guys, thanks for hanging out. I will see you on Tuesday next week with Will. Thanks again. Enjoy the World Match Play, what's left of it. And I'm sorry, I think Gary Anderson wins it. That's my guy. You can see him in the back behind me. I think Gary takes it. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on Tuesday.